Before March 27, 2009, my life was boring, bland, and typical. A typical day would begin at 5:30 a.m. with a drive to work, followed by some rigorous physical training, a shower, a bland breakfast, and work. Then I would come home to an empty house and to a boring evening with me, myself, and I. Lights were out at 10 p.m. and my life would start all over again the next day. But on March 27, 2009, my life changed. I met the love of my life, my soulmate, and my best friend, Sunita. Fellow Toastmasters, this is a story of how I met the woman I married about 2 months ago. March 27 is my birthday. And that day, it wasn't just regular birthday, but it was the 30th birthday. My friends hounded and pleaded with me that this particular birthday had to be celebrated in a grand fashion. They claimed it is a good reason to go out and get drunk. I reluctantly agreed and planned a trip to Seattle. As I planned, I secretly hoped that this day might be different from any other birthdays. I wanted to finally meet someone that's worthwhile. But I hid this hope and buried it deep in my heart for fear of losing it and leaving a gaping hole of disappointment. The night started with a dinner at a restaurant in downtown Seattle, and the scene moved to a dance club nearby. As the night waned, my friends, one by one, left me. Then suddenly, there was this beautiful young lady, Sunita, and her friend, Monica, showed up. And incredibly, my friend, Bill, knew Monica. As they greeted each other, I stood next to Phil, staring at Sunita. My heart stopped as the buried hope burst out of my heart. My eyes opened wide at mesmerizing beauty. All of a sudden, my life has changed. It was exciting, fun, and spontaneous. With the help of the men up above, I had the courage to speak to her, make conversation. I started a casual conversation that blossomed into a very fun and entertaining conversation. She had made me guess her ethnicity for 30 minutes. I named all the countries in the world except for India. And she finally told me that she was an Indian. I couldn't have guessed. Also, while we talked, I showed my prowess and established my hegemony in the bar, in the club, by fending off a dozen guys that was in line to talk to her. At the end of the night, we said our goodbyes and exchanged our numbers, which I impressed her by memorizing it. However, as suddenly as my hope had burst through my heart, it had seemed to disappear the next morning. The night before seemed incredible and like a dream. I was intimidated and I was scared to call her, so I didn't call her right away. I wasn't sure if the feeling was mutual. In fact, I still don't think the feeling is mutual. I definitely love her more. A few days later, annoyed that I had not called her yet, because this never had happened to her before, Sunita texted me and asked me why I hadn't called her yet. This was exactly what I needed, a little bit of encouragement and illusion that she liked me. I had the courage of Captain America, and I acted as such. The next week, I drove the 3-hour trek up to Vancouver for our very first date, finally winning her heart. 3 years later, with some encouragement, with arm twisting on my part, we're now married. Fellow Toastmasters, now you know how we met. Thank you.